Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. Let's get started. Hey, thanks for clicking on my video. Today we're talking about some new makeup. Some of it is just new to me, but some of it is new. So let me show you what I'm going to be putting on today so you know what we're getting into. The main thing that I'm going to be featuring is a new palette. I bet you guys weren't expecting me to pick this up, because I wasn't expecting myself to pick this up. This is Smoke and Roses from ColourPop. I wasn't expecting to pick this up because I don't buy from ColourPop a lot. Also, I definitely don't buy the larger palettes or larger palettes in general that often. The last ColourPop palette that I bought that was large was, oh my God, Bare Neutrals or something like that. And I ended up not using it and returning it because when I opened it and I saw the shades, I was just like, this is not gonna be what I want. But I saw this palette and I hesitated to pick it up, again, because of the size and because of the color story. I'm gonna show you, I know you guys have probably seen this already. Also, ColourPop has come out with like 9 more palettes since this one launched, but here we are. The thing is, when I saw this palette, there were pictures that made me really interested in it, especially because I don't think any palettes like this in my collection. And then there were pictures of it that I was like, I'm not gonna like it. It's way too cool toned, like I'm not gonna like it. Let me show you, I already opened it. I didn't swatch anything though, but I already opened it. Here is what it looks like. Now, my camera and lighting is pretty freaking good as far as accuracy goes in what the colors actually show up like in real life. And as you can see, there are some cool tones, but there are some warmer tones. There is kind of a nice mix. What I like about this palette is it's a roses palette. There's a lot of pinky shades. I don't have a lot of pink shades in my collection, maybe like sprinkled here and there throughout some palettes, but I definitely do not have any like pink themed palettes. This, after a coupon code that I think I did for like Black Friday or something, was like 23 bucks. So not breaking the bank if I ended up only using like a third of the palette. It's not that big of a deal. And I thought it would be fun to try with you guys. But I hope you can tell what I'm saying. Like, tell me if you agree in the comments. There are some pictures of this online where it looks super, super gray, cool toned. And there definitely are some more cool toned I love how it's only half my face. There are definitely some more cool toned shades, but there's also some warmth, and I don't know, the pinks are really pretty. So continuing with the eyes, another thing that is not new, but is for sure new to me, I've only used this once, is a mascara. I think that became popular on TikTok. Believe it or not, I'm not like heavily involved in makeup TikTok. At the moment at least, but this is the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara. And why I picked this up specifically, because honestly, ooh, super flexible wand. This wand is not typically one that I'm drawn to. I like more fat, like hourglass shaped wands, like the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. So this is not something I would pick up. And also even the name, Sky High, to me says long lashes, and I am way more about volume than length. However, the reason I bought this, I know everything has a long backstory. I hope that's why you're here, because you like the backstories. If you guys are familiar with my mascara journey, how dramatic, this past year, I have had a lot of problems with mascaras transferring up to my upper lid, and it is driving me absolutely nuts. So when I heard from someone on YouTube that this lasts and does not smudge, smear, flake, nothing, like that was their biggest claim about this mascara, I really wanted to try it, especially because it's drugstore pricing. I do not want to pay 30 bucks for a mascara that's just okay. Let's also be honest that I'm nearly never wearing makeup, aka mascara, and then not doing like a half lash or a lash of some kind. So when it comes right down to it, I don't need a mascara that's going to like blow my mind when I'm just gonna put a lash on. So do you guys get where I'm coming from with this? That's the explanation for that. The other newest thing that I am about to die these brushes. If you guys saw my anti-haul plus wish list, I talked about these brushes from Rose and Ben Beauty, and I could not be more ecstatic. I couldn't even remember how many brushes I got because I impulsively am psychotic. I got 4 brushes and I'm really excited about the 4 that I got. I kind of wondered, like, after I checked out if I should have just got all of them or if I should have got like one more, but I'm really excited to try these out, and I could always, they're not limited edition. I could always buy the other ones. So let's go ahead and open these up so we can see. Okay, let's start with the eye ones. So the first one I got is C31. This is what it looks like. If you're judging my nails, you'll go straight to hell. So keep that in mind. This is a very unique brush to me, particularly because of how small it is. So you might be looking at this thinking, okay, it kind of looks like the, for example, Rare Beauty concealer brush, but look how much smaller this one is. Very, very still similar, angled, rounded, very small. Would be great to do like any detailed concealer, like right in here, or, you know, on a blemish, absolutely. I think I want to try this as my eyeshadow primer brush and just to get an idea of how it performs, but I do think this would be good for blemishes because it's very, very small and you could really target like what areas. So that is the C31. The least unique brush that I purchased from her is probably this one. This is the E29. Yeah, this is a very standard, for lack of a better phrase, run-of-the-mill blending brush. This is very similar to other brushes we've seen in many other brands. For example, this one's from Sonia Kashuk. Just a fluffy blending brush. It's a little bit bigger than that though. Very soft. Now I have to say, I don't know. So these are synthetic because it does say cruelty-free, vegan, handcrafted, sustainably made, artistry inspired. I really love that. All these brushes are. So, cause I was thinking like it's soft, but it's not so soft that it's like, I don't know. Like I like a brush that has a little bit of like texture to it. It's not just like feathers on the brush, you know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be a great, I'm sure, blending brush. Okay, the other 2 brushes are very unique, at least to my collection, and also I think just to the makeup brushes world because I've never seen any other brushes like this. This one is so, this one I could not wait for her to come out with. This is the E27. Wow. This is so unique. Look at that. She uses it a lot for like doing an inner corner. Also, because it is very like flat, she uses this too if she wants to carve out and do like a fun like eyeshadow wing. You could use this on your lower lash line. This is just super, super unique. I don't know what I'm gonna use this for today. Maybe to like place some lid action. I mean, it's really, really cool shape. Again, have you seen another brush like this? I haven't. E27 is what that one is. This next one is what I'm most excited about. This, I have seen some brushes like this, but oh my God, I'm so excited. Look at this brush. This is the C41. Look at how stunning. These are very substantial brushes. They feel kind of weighted. They're not too light. They feel quality. And what I got this for, she uses this as a powder brush, but I got this for a blush brush. The blush brush I've been using for ages is just from Morphe, and it's the E4, and it's been completely fine, but I love the idea of this shape. I love that. This would be good for a powder brush though too, because it has kind of this flatter edge, so you could really press powder in like that. So those are the 4 brushes that we will be using today, at least those 4. The other products that I wanted to show you guys is, well, the next newest thing to me are these 2 lip products. So I actually got a PR package, can you believe it, from Il Makiage, and this is their new Dirty Talk matte lip colors. They have, I believe, 16 new matte lipsticks, and I've showed them on my channel one time before already, but this is in collaboration with Ariadna, which I'm not familiar with who that is, but this is a very beautiful lipstick. So it's the shade number 703, and I just thought this might go with our like pinkish style eyes today. So this is the packaging, magnetic lid, and then this is the lipstick. So you could see like a very cute textured bullet. And from the lipsticks I've worn out of this collection so far, they are nice quality, and I am not a typically matte lipstick wearer. I just feel like they tend to be too dry or they look too dry. These, however, are really nice, and I'm very impressed with the quality. However, if I do that and I decide I want to put a gloss on, I do have a brand new gloss from Lawless. This is one of their Forget the Filler glosses. This might have been limited edition because it was for the founder, Annie Lawless's birthday. She came out with a couple new shades, and this is the shade Glazed. And you can kind of see that it's like a nudish shimmer. It's basically a clear with shimmer. It's kind of like a champagne tone. So beautiful, stunning. And then they had the nerve to come out with another couple of little mini glosses, and one of the colors is driving me insane. Like, I want it so bad, but I'm like, another gloss? Like, I can't just keep buying glosses like nonstop. So I'm trying desperately to hold back, but do I want it? Oh my God, it's like a rosewood color. I'm so drawn to it. Also for lips, I don't know if this is gonna match, but I do have a newer product from Melt. This is the Perfectionist Lip Pencil in the shade Bear. So it's a nice little nude. And then the other few things, I recently got this, I haven't told you guys about this, but the Gucci bronzer. I got this during the Sephora sale. I keep it in the little like velvet pouch. And I am still testing this out. I got it in the shade 3, which is kind of dark, but it's the shade that I decided to purchase. So I have some thoughts on this since I have been using it. Oh, let's take this off. Ooh, love that. I have some thoughts when we get to this, but so I want to talk about it. I also actually from Lawless want to use this. I have only used this like once on my channel. This is the Conceal the Deal Lawless Foundation, Longwear Full Coverage Foundation. I wore this the other day and I loved it. I'll talk about that. And then lastly, I just want to show you this Patrick Ta blush palette featuring this really, really pink Barbie shade over here that I talked about in my favorites video for November. So that is basically what we're gonna do. Those are the products I pulled out at least. We're gonna need powder and stuff like that, but let's just go ahead and get into the makeup. So I just swatched all of the shadows from this ColourPop Roses palette, Smoke and Roses, and I am really impressed, you guys. Like, truly, the mattes are nice. Some of them are very nice. Some of these shimmers are dramatically good. Like, truly, my jaw was like dropping when I swatched some of these. So I am really excited. I am going to start with my eyes first. And as I mentioned, I want to start with this little brush. This is the C31 from Rose and Ben, and I'm gonna go into a MAC paint pot. This is Soft Ochre. I've been using this again lately, and it's been working out pretty good. Trust me, I know it is extra to have a dedicated brush just for your eye primer, but when you are as extra as me, also mentally ill, then it's worth it. Actually, this is applying really nicely. Super evenly distributed. Ooh, I really like that. I have to give it to Max Paint Pots. I have had this for, I would say, probably almost a year now, maybe a little less than a year. And I'm shocked that it is not dried out. I mean, it's literally just a cream product in a glass jar. And of course I don't like leave it open, but I wouldn't think that just like putting on the lid would keep it lasting for this long, but I'm really impressed by that. So you definitely could do like a taupey or smoky look. Like this down here is a green. We have like a deep, rich plum in here. Of course, we have some grays. You could even do like this warm brown is so pretty. So there's some different varieties that you can do, but I do think I'm gonna try to do a more like rose toned look, just because I think that's pretty much why I bought the palette, and I think that's why a lot of people would buy the palette. So, oh, before we do that, I do want to prep my lips, and I'm gonna use this Hangover Pillow Balm. And my lips aren't really dry or anything, but especially if we're gonna be using a matte lipstick, I just want to make sure they're hydrating as we're doing other stuff. Also, this just feels and tastes really good. So I'm probably not going to do anything too complicated. I'm just going to start with this shade right here called Look at Me. It's kind of like a mid-tone pink, and I am going to start with that big fluffy brush. This is the E29. Did a couple taps on the top there, and I'm going to tap this into the crease. A lot of times I set my eyeshadow primer, but I did not today. This is a pretty pigmented shade. I mean, it's definitely one that you don't need a lot of. Because I have hooded eyes too, I like to go up here a little bit, because when I relax my eyes, I want you to still be able to see it. I don't want to just go directly into this socket here. And I think just to add another shadow, I'm gonna go into this shade here called Alone. Just a very light baby pink mauve, just to blend that shade out just a little bit. So far, this brush is really nice, placing everything really well. Okay, so something simple like that. I will say we do have some powder kick up there. It's not insane. Some ColourPop shadows that I've tried are kind of insane with the powder kick up. This isn't that bad, but just wanted to point it out. I do want to make this a little more pink. I mean, it's definitely like a rose tone, but I want to make it a little amped up. So I can't decide if I want to go into Angel Eyes, which is really pink, or Pretender. I think Pretender is what's kind of drawing me in. You know what? I'm gonna go in with Angel Eyes because it's more out of my comfort zone than Pretender. And I actually did switch to a smaller blending brush. This is from Morphe, the M506. And I'm going to place that more in the socket, just a little lower, but still a little above too, because I do, like I said, with hooded eyes, want you to be able to see it. That's definitely a lot more pink, but that's what I wanted. Now, I don't know if this is gonna be dark enough, but I want to try this shade. When I swatched it, I really loved this one. This is Kickstart. I wanna see if I can kind of do this on the outer corner, outer edge, and see if it is dark enough to like add what I'm looking for here. We'll see. If not, we're just gonna abandon ship with this shade. Damn it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be dark enough. Maybe I can build this up. Like, it's adding a little something. Okay, yeah, that's not doing enough. I'm gonna do it on the other eye as well, just because I don't want to move on and not have done the same thing, but that is not quite as dark as I wanted. Like, it's doing something. Like, can you guys tell? It is adding some sort of shadow. Maybe I should just keep going with it. I'm like so quick to write it off. Oh, it is kind of building up. I guess it is doing something. That's kind of nice. Now, just to like, ooh, a little touch, because I don't want this to be too much of like a night out drama look. I want to go in with this shade Whisper. It is quite dark gray. I'm just going to try to add like a little touch of this just on top to deepen what we just did, see? And the gray tones, the taupe tones with the pink is kind of making almost like a purpley tone, which I do like a lot. This is so different than what I typically go for. I'm adding just like a teeny bit more of the pinkish shade, just like on the edge, because I don't want to be dusting that away as I'm blending and then it not look as smooth. Okay, now I think I want to go in with shimmer, and I want to do at least 2 because there are some gorgeous shimmers in here, like I said. I am thinking I might want to go with this one, which is called Is This Love? And do this like on the outer half, and then maybe do one more that's like slightly lighter on the inner half. And luckily I don't have nails on yet. I'm getting them done today. But this is gonna make using the shimmers so easy. I am actually getting short nails on today because I really wanna be able to use my fingers for shimmers. Okay, so this is called Is This Love? This is what it looks like. Yeah, that's very pigmented and pretty. Do you see? That's nice. Okay, I got a phone call, so I did do some tight lining under here, and I did the lower like line of my eyebrows. Anyways, moving on, I was trying to decide what shimmer to do for the other half, and I actually think I'm going to go in with this third shade. This is called Every Rose, and I don't know how this is gonna look, but we're gonna do it anyways, because it is kind of light. No, I think I like it. It's like a champagne taupey situation. Just gonna go back in with that first shade a little bit, just to kind of mesh them so it's not like a line where one starts. So that's what we have. I mean, it's not like the highest shine shimmer I've ever seen in my life, but it is pretty. I mean, see how well it goes on. And then I might go in with another shade for my very inner corner and like my brow bone. But let's leave it at that for now. And for liner, I sometimes would do a wing, but I want to just do like something on the outer corner because I'm going to wear just half lashes today. I'm going to go in with this Il Makiage pencil liner long wear eye pencil in the shade Oreo. This is what it looks like. It's like a super dark espresso brown. And I'm just going to do it, like I said, on this outer portion. Okay, so it looks like that. I've been doing a lot of winged liner lately. I mean, almost every single time I do my makeup with a gel pot liner, and I do like that a lot, but this is certainly easier. Okay, trying to speed up a little bit here because I am on a schedule today. Okay, moving on to mascara. Again, we're using the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational. This is what the wand looks like. Again, like it's very flexible, which is interesting. And okay, so I've tried this twice now and I do like it. I would not say that this is a very voluminous mascara, but it's from the drugstore and I got zero, or I had, I should say, zero transfer at all. And it's not waterproof. It's not a tubing mascara either that I know of. It's just a regular ass mascara, but it has been working pretty well. So that's like one coat. See how it's just like, it's good. It's not crazy volume. But again, if I'm just going to use a lash anyways, why do I care that much what my lashes look like? I just want them to not look clumpy. I don't want them to stick together to where I have 3 lashes. And I also don't want, obviously, them to transfer onto my upper lid. I mean, nothing infuriates me more. Okay, so that's just with 2 coats of the mascara, and I think it looks nice. I definitely could leave it like that if I was low maintenance, but I have to add a lash. And what I've been using is what I've been using for a while, which is just Ardell Demi Wispies. Cut not completely in half. I would say I cut about 3/4 of the lash off. And for me, that's the perfect amount. Just a half lash isn't quite right for the way it's tapered. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on and I'll be right back. Okay, lashes are on. Doesn't that look just a little more glamorous, a little more elevated? And they're still drying. So let's go ahead and move on. We're gonna do foundation. And I mentioned using this Lawless Conceal the Deal foundation. I haven't used this on my channel since I did a first impression. For one thing, this is very dark for me, okay? So just chill. I did, however, use this recently, specifically with this brush from Anissa Beauty that I talked about in my favorites video. And at least that day, I loved how it looked. Since my first impression video where I gave this a very high review, I haven't used it that much. Almost to the point where I was like, do I not like this as much as I thought I did? And then, like I said, the other day I used it and I applied it with this brush and I loved how it looked. So I want to do it again. And the other thing is I applied it pretty fast, partially because I was in a hurry, which I sort of am now as well. But I just like didn't fuss with it. I just kind of slapped it on with the brush. And it honestly looks literally flawless on my skin. Not heavy, looks like skin still, but very good coverage. I will say, like, in my favorites video though, this brush is exceptional. So it is dark, so I'm bringing it down here. See how it covered like what was on my chin, this like redness down here? And you see how thin it is as well. I mean, it's a very liquidy foundation. I mean, are you guys seeing like how nice that looks? Ever since that day I put it on, I've been seriously considering buying a lighter shade. My melasma is so annoying. Buying a lighter shade so that I can wear this and it actually match me, because I just love how it looks. Doesn't it look so skin-like? Okay, went ahead and got my brows over with, and moving on to concealer. Sorry if I seem like I'm rushing, it's only because I'm rushing. This is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. Really, really nice full coverage concealer. And you know what? I wet a sponge, but I want to demo for you guys this Anissa brush. This is the angled concealer. Also, I don't think I mentioned this foundation brush is the Pinnacle foundation brush from Anissa Beauty. I can't stress this enough. I am not a brush person for foundation concealer. I really like a sponge. And I always will. But this is just quick and easy, you guys. And I mean, look, it's blended and it looks smooth. It looks just as smooth as if I used my freaking sponge. Now for powder, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me to bake. Really not bake as much as just like press this powder in. For powder for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use this big fluffy brush. I've been getting into this a little bit more lately too. This is one from It Cosmetics. What is this? I forget like the number. C4203, that sounds excessive, but I'm actually using this one size powder. Hello? One size? And I poured some in the lid. I'm just going to kind of pick some up on this brush. I like how flat, it's rounded, but I like how flat the brush is. So like I was mentioning with the brush earlier, that you could kind of like pat it into your skin versus like buffing it or swiping it, like press it in, which really goes a long way for making your makeup last. Look how like purple that eye look turned out, which I like. It's like pinky purple. Okay, now I want to go ahead and finish the rest of the eye look. Let's get that out of the way. I'm just gonna do something slightly similar to what we did obviously on the top. So starting with this shade called Look at Me. And I'm just taking like a little tiny brush here. Sometimes I also do a liner in the lower like waterline, but I just think I'm gonna keep it kind of soft. Okay, and then possibly last, for the lower lash line at least, I'm gonna do this shade again. This one that I didn't think I was gonna be able to build up that much. This is called Kickstart. It's actually not really showing up on the lower lash line that much. That's weird. It's not really like, maybe it's this brush. So moving on from that, I am going to take just like a little touch of this dark one called Whisper, that like really dark gray. I just want like a light wash of that underneath. I don't want it to look like a line. Very like subtle definition. And you know what? I have not done this yet. I'm gonna try this mascara for my lower lash line. I have been using this only for my upper lashes because I always use MAC's Giga Black Lash. But the wand just might be skinny enough. Yeah, that actually works. I mean, of course it works, but you know, some wands, I don't know, I just typically can't use the same wand that I use, or the same mascara that I use for my top. I don't use it for the bottom. That looks good actually. Okay, lastly for the eyes, I want to do an inner corner, and I think I'm going to use this one. This is called Love Hurts, and it's not the absolute lightest one in the shade, but it is pretty light, and I'm gonna try this little tiny E27 brush, and let's see what this does here. It's not doing as much, like the shadow is not doing as much as I want it to. And to be honest, I feel like this brush is maybe a little too big for that area. I want to try my pinky with that shadow. Yeah, see how much more bright and like vibrant that is? I don't know, a lot of metallic shimmer shades these days, they don't do enough unless you have like a glitter glue on, or if you use your finger, like it just is gonna be the best outcome. I am gonna try to do, oh, this is nice. This for my brow bone is nice though. Do you guys still do a brow bone highlight, or is this very like 2016 of me? Okay, the eyes are done. What do you think? As you're thinking, I'm gonna move on to the rest of the face. And again, I'm using the Gucci bronzer. Now, my thoughts on this are that I first started using it with, this is so weird to me, I started using it with pretty much my favorite bronzer brush, which is this Royal & Langnickel Omnia Balm 36 brush. And I felt like it was a little bit patchy of a bronzer. And then, because I've been learning this lately, I said, you know what, don't judge the product just yet, use a different brush and see what you get. And then I started using it with my Tom Ford 115, I think this is, oh no, 05 brush. The price is 115, that's right. And I like it a lot better. Like, it's very smooth and not patchy at all. It definitely works good with this foundation color because this shade 03 is a bit too dark for me now. I will say though, I have heard people say like, guys, you just need to get this bronzer, like it's worth it. it's really special. It's really, I don't know if I feel that way though. Like I'm like, yeah, it's good. I definitely think it's good. But am I like, wow, my new holy grail, guys, you have to go get this bronzer? Not really, especially because it didn't work perfectly with a brush that works perfectly for other bronzers I have. So I don't really know what that's about. It's a pretty tone though. Definitely this shade at least has a decent amount of like red in it. Okay, now for blush, I am going to use, like I mentioned, the Patrick Ta really, really pinky blush. Ooh, and I get to use the new blush brush. So excited for this. Okay, first I like to go in, look at how pigmented that is. I like to go in with the powder. This powder by itself has some pigment. That's why I like dust off. Because I'd rather like build it up a little bit than just like go in and be terrified. So far this brush is awesome, beautiful. And now I'm going to go in with the cream. You need barely any to get that amped up look. I know that's very like pink, but I think it's gorgeous. Okay, and this brush is really freaking good too, you guys. I love that. Okay, now I want to do a highlight, and let's see. You know what? This is different for me, but a highlight that I think I'll use today, just because I have not used this on my channel in 1,000 years, is one from Laura Mercier, and this is Highlight 01. It's a matte Radiance baked powder, and I rarely pick this up because it is a very, you'll see, it's super soft and subdued highlight. Very, very, very lit from within highlight. Not at all stripey, not at all blingy, not at all obvious. I mean, you can definitely see it, especially on camera, at least in my viewfinder. It's very like, ooh, shiny, shimmery, dewy. But do you see you can't really tell where it starts and stops? This is beautiful. When I worked at Sephora, I brought so many people onto this highlighter because I was like, you guys, you're not getting it. You're just wasting your time walking right by it. Especially people who are like, I want to highlight, but I don't want to look like obvious. I don't wear heavy makeup, or maybe, you know, you're a bride and you want just like such a beautiful glow. It's glowy. Like I know all highlights are like glowy, but some of them are very shimmery. Oh, and I just put it on my pimples, so that's awesome. Do you see how it's just like, hey guys, see my skin? Been drinking a lot of water. Not sure if you knew. Okay, and last, lips. And I am going to use this nude lip liner from Melt. This is in the shade Bare. I love this pencil a lot. I still have that Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balm on, so it's kind of making it hard to make a defined line. Okay, that's what we have. I'm actually thinking, I haven't even put it on yet, but I'm thinking I might keep the lips matte because I do have this Pillow Balm on. So I think when I put this matte lipstick on, again in the shade 703 Ariadna, I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know, I think it'll look kind of satiny. I don't think this lipstick's the right tone for this, especially because the eyes turned out kind of purple. Yeah, I don't know, guys. See, I wanted to just do like a subtle, almost like a powdered look on the lips, not like full-blown lip pigment. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll go in with this on top. This is Pink Plaid from MAC. This is a really nice cool tone pink. This by itself on my lips would have looked perfect. Okay, now I'm going to spray my face, and I actually want to use a new spray to me. This has probably been out for a million years, but it's from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Pro Spray and Set Makeup Extender. I don't know how I feel about this. I just kind of, at this moment, feel like it's fine. I haven't really noticed that much, but I was out of town and I forgot my setting spray and I just couldn't handle my life without one. So I went ahead, got this at like Walgreens. The sprayer is nice on it. And it is kind of nice to have a drugstore option because like today, even though I'm filming this, I don't have like an event to go to where I need my makeup to last all day. I really just need my makeup to last average length of time. So maybe I don't want to use my $35 Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. You know what I mean? Like the $10, actually I think that was like $15, which is really annoying. But you know, the drugstore price setting spray, I think is good enough for a day like today. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. I will say for the new products that I used, I absolutely love the brushes. And the main thing, like I said, that I wanted to show you was this ColourPop palette. And I am so happy that I like it as much as I do. I truly love the look that I came up with. I think it looks really good in person too. It's not just like for camera. I think some of the shimmers when I was swatching them, some of them, maybe like 2 of them weren't that impressive, were kind of flaky and not really there. But there is enough other really pretty shimmers in here. I'm happy to have this palette. I do think that it's worth it. If you like this color story, definitely pick it up. I do think that you'll be happy, especially for the price point. And again, that is everything. I have to run. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe so you can see my future beauty videos and give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I really appreciate it as always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye.